Right, good evening, and thanks for clicking on to the Thursday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Very short and sweet today, I'm afraid. I have been working pretty hard over the last few hours to get this March Outlook published on markvoganweather.com, and do check it out. And unfortunately, I don't have enough time to look at this and discuss this in today's video, but I will look in more detail at how the winter panned out, where it changed as we progressed through the middle and latter half of the season, and where we're going with regards to the month of March. Now, it does look as if we are going to see an increased chance of blocking both within the Arctic and over Greenland as we progress through the month of March. Particularly so over Scandinavia, it looks as if the models are honing in on a strengthening block in this neck of the woods as we progress from week 1 into week 2 of March. But I'm not overly enthusiastic about a particularly cold March to come. I think we are going to see average to slightly above average temperatures, and I give my reasons for that in the Europe March 2024 outlook. So do check it out. There is quite a lot of information on here discussing the winter, how it panned out, and as well as that, looking at the month of March. Now, I don't publish spring or autumn forecasts. I really do just focus on the summer and winter. But I will be looking a little bit more at the spring season in the coming days and weeks to come in terms of temperature, rainfall distribution, and further more. So yeah, do check it out. The link will hopefully be put in the description below. That is freely available for you to read at your leisure. Now, Arctic oscillation looks as if it is going into negative territory. You can see that it is firmly positive at the moment, going into negative territory. Like I say, the North Atlantic oscillation also appears to be going negative, and this is probably a byproduct of the stratospheric warming situation that took place. Transfer of cold from Siberia across the top into North America. We do have a significant resistance, by the way, taking place over both the eastern United States and also over Europe. There's a block of very, very warm air in both eastern North America and Europe, and I think this is a bit of an El Nino-esque resistance to what has taken place within the polar stratosphere. We are seeing cold. It is getting driven south over the western side of North America. It's trying to push eastwards, but it's, like I say, coming up against that resistance. By the way, this is the next 30 days of the GFS ensemble. So you can see the block over Scandinavia and over Central and Eastern Europe. We've got a negative UK, Ireland extending to the west. And this is the temperature profile seen by the GFS ensemble for the next 30 days, and actually has slightly below average temperatures across Scotland, slightly warmer than average across southeastern UK, colder than average Northern Ireland and parts of the Republic. But that's quite interesting here, and yes, you're saying to yourself, why are you forecasting average to above average when you've got a strong block expected to the north of the UK? My problem is this, folks, and listen, it could change on its head. Look at where the blocking is taking place over eastern side of North America, Greenland to the north of the UK here. That is somewhat of a cold signal. But if you look at what has already taken place, and you can see that we have had a tremendous amount of warmth built up over Europe and over North America in recent weeks. The core of coldest air has been on the wrong side of the pole. It's been down over Kazakhstan, Mongolia, China. Bitterly cold air has resided in this region of the Northern Hemisphere. And what I think is going to take place is we've got very little in the way of cold air to draw east or even west. So there is cold driving south over North America, over the United States here, and that is going to then push offshore across the Atlantic and eventually reach our shores in the coming days, upcoming weekend, and into early next week. We may see that. Then we see a developing area of high pressure over Scandinavia, but with very little in the way of cold air over Eastern Europe here. It doesn't look as if we're going to have a significant spell of bitterly cold air. We're not going to see a 2018 or a 2013. I don't think anyway. And I think overall, we're going to have a bit of a waste of a blocked pattern potentially during the month of March. So, looking finally, this is a quick video, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm going to comb through that article that I've now published in tomorrow's video. We're going to look at what happened during the winter, the turnaround that took place midwinter onwards, and why. I've also explained that in recent videos as well. The delay in the El Nino response from ocean to the atmosphere, etc., etc. But we'll look at that in detail, and we'll also look at the month of March in a little bit more detail in tomorrow's video as well. But let's close by looking at the latest run of the GFS overview chart here. And you can see that as we progress, it helps if I get the right chart, we are going to see an area of low pressure spinning around over the UK and Ireland through the course of this weekend here. A very messy picture, as you can see here. But cast your eyes to the west here. We've got an area of low pressure here dragging some cold air off North America across the Atlantic and into the UK. All the while, we're also seeing a developing area of high pressure over northern and eastern Europe. So we are seeing a little bit of a battleground taking place here. Cold air crossing the Atlantic and into the UK may provide some winteriness over high ground as we move into the early portions of next week. But as we progress through to the middle and second half of the week, you notice here that we've got an area of high pressure developing and building over Scandinavia. That is going to try and draw an east to southeasterly airflow as we move towards the end of week one and beginning of week 2 of March here. You notice here that high pressure becomes a lot more dominant here, seen by the operational run as we progress towards the middle portions of the month here. But with very little in the way of true cold air, that flow is not going to have any real significance to it. And that is exactly why I think that we are going to struggle to get anything particularly cold, because we simply have the cold on the wrong side of the northern hemisphere, either over Western North America or over Asia. We don't have it over Europe, and therefore, like I said already, it's going to be a bit of a wasted blocking pattern. So you've got the overall idea of what I'm thinking. Do check out recent videos that explain a little bit more about the turnaround, and also if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future uploads, because I'm going to explain in a lot more detail, hopefully tomorrow, with regards to the winter and also the month of March. So stay tuned for that. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow with more. Have a great evening. Bye for now.